Hello, YouTube. Welcome to TruBadger Nexus ecosystem. And we're here with our friends at PTR to talk about our favorite subject, the Nexus ecosystem. So, Peter, what do you
How's
got
everybody doing today? Well, guys, we continue to move things forward, continue to make things happen. I had a great meeting this morning on some things that we're putting together and working on. I think what we'll talk about today is the overall marketplace of, and you guys have heard me talk a lot about, a lot of people in the industry are using or that are into crypto traders, people running projects, the scam artists, and a lot of people that are crypto holders or buyers are treating it like it's a casino, like it's a slot machine just to go in for quick buck, quick things. But the approach that I take when it comes to blockchain and cryptocurrency is really the long-term side of it. Because if you sit down and begin to look at the fundamentals of the technology and of the empowerment of the individual, right? And then as well, it helping to bring the possibility of billions of people out of poverty into the modern economic society. I just see this as something that is a major movement in the entire human experience, right? I mean, it is literally going to be something that is going to allow for groups to get together and organize better, empower each other. I mean, there's just so many aspects to the blockchain and cryptocurrency that are above and beyond buying a token and having it moon, right? Moon, when Lambo, right? I mean, the rallying cry of when I got into crypto, especially very heavily last year, and you'll see this with a lot of projects. They'll make stickers, when Lambo, moon stickers, these type of things, because that's the mentality of, I'm going to get into a token and I'm going to, within a week, make 100x, 400x, 500x, 600x. I mean, I do remember a day where if you got into like an investment and it doubled in a year, you'd be like, oh my God, that's amazing. I doubled mine. I remember logging into my 401k before crypto, and I'd have like a 21% return a year, and I'd be like, oh my God, that's amazing. That's incredible, man. I did 21% on my 401k this year. What an incredible situation, right? And then I think back of, owning stocks, Ford and these other companies and stuff, and they dip, and I wouldn't panic or worry about it. Be like, it's coming back up over time, right? Except for those really bad days, like where it would crash down, right? Those would be days you'd sweat a little bit. But I didn't hover over my 401k. I didn't hover over that stuff. I just simply let it go, because it was money that I was putting aside that was for my future, right? For down the road when I got to be, 65, 68. And supposedly I was supposed to retire, right? And I say supposedly because that day will probably never come, right? The day where I retire. And I think that is what we need to do. I think that's why it's so important for us to share the Nexus ecosystem with friends and family and other people. Because if you go into crypto on a normal basis, just through a normal channels, that's what you're seeing is when Lambo, why dip, moon, these people that have these expectations that every token is going to go straight up and that it should never go down. It's kind of crazy. I watched a token not too long ago go from about $2 million to $90 million, right? Almost 100 million. Like I think it was 98 is its top. And then it started coming back down, and it did this in a very short period of time without a product, without anything. So you could tell it was hype, right? And then people were in the chat asking, why is it dipping? Why is it going down? My question would be, why wouldn't it go down? That would be the real question, right? No product out yet. It shot up like a rocket ship, like within like 10 days, 15 days. And if you look at it from a realistic standpoint, I'm going to look at it from my critical mind, let's say, of did it really, is there any investment that comes out a company and launches and says, hey, we're going to build this product. Oh, here, I'll give you a great example. A movie. You hear that Avatar 2 is coming out, right? Avatar 2 is coming out. When Avatar 2 hits the movie theaters, it's probably going to do billions of dollars in the movie theaters. But imagine if people are going, well, wait a minute, why hasn't Avatar 2 already done $1 billion in ticket sales? It isn't out yet. The movie hasn't even, we don't, it's the, you know what I'm saying? It's putting the cart before the horse. And I think that's a lot of what we're doing in the crypto space. And I have to tell you, if we keep doing it, there won't be a crypto space around for us to benefit from and from doing it. I think the biggest thing that's going to allow for the centralized authorities, the big companies, to hijack this is we project founders, project token holders, people involved in these, we treated it so poorly that the government will put in so many rules that the centralized companies will be the only ones that will be able to do it. And then there will be no returns because it'll just be like the regular stuff. And then that's who we'll be working under with. And I think that's the case. And I know there's a balance here. I mean, to watch a token get in and make 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 times your money, it's very exciting. And it's good. But you got to know that if it goes skyrocketing up, and it doesn't even matter if it's our tokens, right? I'm talking about all tokens, guys. TruBadger, whatever it is, if it gets on a hype and it's on a run and it runs up, there's a very good chance it's going to come down some, right? Because of it overheated, it got over exhausted. And eventually some people go, man, I'm going to pull some profit off the table. So the idea of something running up is there's more people purchasing the asset, right? So it's going up, 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 up. As soon as some people start exiting it, and then the purchasing goes down and that balances out, and all of a sudden there's more people selling than buying, right? Then you're going to have it go down in that direction. Here's the question though that's there is that a bad thing? Only if you need to exit the asset. Only if you need to exit it. And if there's no substance behind the project, right? Because then it won't go back up again. However, if there's substance behind it, where something's being built behind it, I'll use Insights as an example. Insights shot up, a bunch of people came in, impatient, they left, it comes down, the market corrects. Of course, that's most of what has come down on that token. Otherwise, it would still be up at the 24, 22, $23 million mark. It had, I believe it had went up to 30 with a bunch of people coming on when it went on to coin market cap. The technology hasn't launched yet, right? So when you think about it and said, oh, well, maybe you got in at 27 or 28, it's okay. What do? You hold. Why? Because the technology hasn't launched yet. When the technology launches, then you get to see if people go, holy mackerel, this is the greatest trading product in the world. And if it is even a good trading product and 20,000 people say, I'm going to use that software, let's say 20,000 get on and do just the $49 a month plan because they're making hundreds of dollars a month off of trading and it makes sense for them to own it. Well, let's see, that's 20,000 people times about $50. That's what, $1 million a month coming in from that. And then let's say 5,000 people say, well, I want the premium. And that's $100. Well, that's another 500,000. Now, all of a sudden the company has 1.5 million. The project has $1.5 million a month coming in. Of that, let's say half of that's profit because it's software, high profit margins. That means now the company is making $8-9 million, the project $8-9 million a year. If it's worth 5 to 10 times earnings, then that now project is worth $40 to $80 million just on the earnings. So if you sold out now when it's, all BNB's down and it's at $12,000 or $13,000, does that make a lot of sense? Now, what if it goes to 200,000 people using the trading software? Because it goes on other chains. It can trade on Ethereum. It can trade on, AVAX, it can trade. All of a sudden now that project has 10 or 15 million, $20 million. Would it be the number one trading software? No, there are trading softwares that bring in more revenue than that already. It wouldn't even be the top or the best when it's bringing in that type of money. I'll give Safufy as an example. Right now, we're getting free wallets on. We're protecting assets of people. And that alone, protecting people's assets, that's a noble cause. However, the DAO software is getting closer. In the next couple of weeks, we'll launch TruBadger, the voting algorithms. Once we're able to go get 300, 400, 500, 1,000 projects that are paying a couple $1,000s a month for us to manage their DAOs for them, help them get set up and then manage their DAOs, which I would pay that in a heartbeat because it's literally hundreds of thousands to build it out, right? And most projects don't have that kind of money. All of a sudden now that project is making $1 million, $5 million, $10 million, $20 million a month in revenue. Again, technology, software, large margins usually in software. So what's the profitability there? And this goes on and on with each project, right? When you start talking about it. And then you look at TruBadger. And I talked a little bit about this before, and I think this is a part of TruBadger that people don't understand. They look at it and they go, well, why should I hold TruBadger? Insights is going to sell software. Safufy is going to have all this. Because TruBadger is a project that is helping launch projects. Okay, that's what we do. We're a consulting business. We're an incubator project, and we're a community. Those are the three key things, okay? So consulting people are coming to us and they're saying, hey, can you help me launch your project? And we say, yes, here's our proposal. What we want for launching it is, and I'll use MMAC for an example. TruBadger holds 30 alien Martian NFTs, right? That's an asset that belongs to who? The token holders, because the token holders own the project. Okay, so that's one. But also, TruBadger gets 1% of the total secondary market sales for the life of mixed Martian arts. So let's say in 3 to 4 months, 2 months, there's $20 million a month in mixed Martian arts NFTs that keep reselling, right? People going in and buying them. Would that be even a top project? No, the top projects are doing hundreds of millions of dollars a month right now in revenue. Okay, we get 1% of that. That's revenue that's coming into TruBadger. Okay, we're getting ready to, we've already done the crypto gods, a percentage of that. It holds crypto gods, right? It's going to own crypto gods when they launch. We're working on another project. Again, we'll get 1% of the secondary sales of that. I want you guys to begin to see the picture here. Eventually, TruBadger helps launch 20 NFT projects. It's getting ongoing residual revenue from every single one of those projects. It holds those projects on its books, in its vault. So we own 30 Martians. What do we do when the game launches? We go partner with people. We have them play the game and it starts generating revenue. Where does that revenue go? It goes back to TruBadger. This is all about building wealth, guys, accumulating. That's the consulting and the accelerator side of things. Where's our responsibility as community members? So I've just been talking now as the lead manager, somebody that's running the project. Now I'm going to talk and I'm going to do a better job of this. So I had a meeting this morning and the meeting went very well. And we have an offer on the table for a project that more than likely would be one of the top 10 coins ever to launch in the history of all of crypto. Okay. Like one of the big boys. So we're talking, a substantial project. And we landed that, but they did have some questions. They asked about our growth. Why is your community not growing faster? Me as a token community member, I said, I got to do a better job of that. I've got to get my phone back out. I did it when we first started. And I've got to start making sure that I'm talking to at least one new person a week that wants to get in crypto and get them to that onboarding system. That's a commitment I'm making to myself. They asked, why don't you have the volume? We're looking at this and there's other people that want this contract that we basically just land it, right? It's not signed yet, but it's in the process of doing that, for us to develop this project out, which, by the way, guys, doesn't benefit me as a person. All of the tokens, which is what we'll be working for on this project, will be held by TruBadger, Crypto Gods, right? All of it will be held by that. I benefit from being a token holder, not for being a person who's running the company or going to produce the project, right? That's going to produce those results. It's for you guys because you're a token holder. This is what we're out there building, but I can't build it overnight. And that's sometimes what I get the pressure is. It's like, you know, it's like, we're supposed to be able to, it's almost like people are going, Peter, here's $100 bill. Oh my God, I did that 3 months ago and it's not 50 grand yet. If you want to turn it into 50 grand, is it possible? Yeah, but it's going to take some time and we're going to have to be given the chance to then go out and build and accelerate and put these things together. We had to build a community with projects that are holding better than others, not holding as well as I'd like for them to hold, especially SAFBUFID, right? But holding better than others. We just beat out at least a dozen other people that are capable of building smart contracts, putting things together and doing stuff. And the reason why is it's what we talk about here. It's what we do. It's the fact that we talk about holding. It's the fact that we talk about we are not some slot machine where you're going to say, well, I got to make my car payment in 2 weeks. So I'm going to take my car payment, my $400, and I'm going to put it into mixed martial arts, you know, NFTs, and then I'll cash them out before my car payments due. That's the kind of stuff we can't do, guys. Because if we're doing that, first of all, it could harm you because you may not be able to get out of them in time and then miss a payment. But also, we've got to think long term. We've got to put the energy into long term building. That is where this is at. Crypto, what's going to be made in the next year or 2 years of crypto is nothing compared to what's going to be made in the next 5 or 10 years as we build through this process and we get it done. And I got to tell you guys, you can't just snap your finger and build software. Software is extremely hard to build. It's, you know, I mean, heck, how long has Windows been building Windows for? And there's still issues with it and there's still problems. It's a continual battle to get software right and to go through that process. And that's what you're dealing with, right? The blockchain is a technology. And then what we're building on it is a technology. And you've got a lot of parts and a lot of pieces that are moving to all work together. So it takes time to get that done. And so, you know, it's, we're grateful to, I'm grateful to myself as a community member. I'm a great community member. I'm grateful to all you guys that are great community members. And we're going to continue to build this forward and continue to create more opportunities. Now, I want to also cover on this, and I talked about this on the AMA. Look, we're going to come out with quite a few projects, guys. We need to, right? This is a moving space that's developing, and it ain't going to wait around because, you know, hey, you know, wait, you know, Nexus ecosystem isn't ready yet. So let's just sit there. If we're not doing it, somebody else is. So here's the key. And that's why I started to talk about TruBadger. If you hold TruBadger tokens, you'll never miss on a single project that we launch. Never. Because just by holding it, TruBadger itself will benefit from it. So you'll get a piece of whatever portion that TruBadger holds, equivalent to the percentage of tokens that you hold. Will you get, of course, as much as you could if you can participate? No, but you will participate in it and be a part of it. It's why we built, you see that thing that says ecosystem. It's a system. It all works together. It works in conjunction with each other to build a stronger, better, more comprehensive space, right? In an ecosystem. And so that's where we're at in how we're building and what we're doing. I'm going to open it up for some questions. I see there's one in there. Are you willing to provide your insight into promised federal government regulation of cryptocurrency and how they will impact us in the short and long run? I'm holding either way, just curious. Thank you, Andy. Yeah, guys, look, it was always a given that the government would regulate this, right? That's a simple fact. That was never at question whether they would or would not. Okay. Now, how do we prevent overregulation? We do it by sharing with our friends and family, right? We're in the US, right? We're democracy. The more people that are favorable to crypto, the harder it is for the government to come heavy-handed down on top of it. The less people involved and the more, and again, I'll go back to where I started this with, which we have a responsibility as token holders to be responsible in the space, because if every token holders out there are being irresponsible, then again, what happens is we feed into the loss, we feed into the collapsed projects, we feed into the scam artists, right? And then we bring more regulation onto ourselves. So in the short run, every time it's mentioned, they just mentioned it today, the market goes down. People panicked, right? And what did they say, right? That they're going to, look at this thing for 3 or 4 months and they're going to start figuring out. Okay. If you've ever had government try to figure anything out, I'm going to go to a real life situation. So President Obama signed a thing called the Jobs Act, and it was for equity-based crowdfunding. If you look at the rules of equity-based crowdfunding, they're very simple, right? I probably could have put it together in an afternoon, right? You and I could have sat down and said, hey, let's put these rules together. We would have had it done in an afternoon. It took the government 5 years to implement the number one part of the Jobs Act, which was equity-based crowdfunding. It took them 5 years to pass it and put it into play. States like Arizona cranked it out in no time at all. They said the government's taking too long to do it. The state cranked it out. There were probably 20 states that had their own crowdfunding implementations because the government was taking too long to do it. So do I think there's going to be regulation? Yes. Do I think they're going to get it done next month or in the next 90 days? Not even close. Too much debate, too much arguing, too much both sides of the thing. So what do we need to do in order to make sure that it's as little as possible? We need to grow the Nexus ecosystem. And if there's anyone else out there like us, which I don't know of one, but we need to support great projects that have solid stuff. So the Ethereums, the base tokens that are building real things on their chain. We need to start organizing. And this is one of the things we had talked about doing a year ago, is putting together some type of an association, which is projects and people that love the blockchain and that are willing to donate maybe a few dollars every month each person towards legal and towards it's going to pop my head in a second, lobbyists, and towards that stuff to make sure that it is. But the number one thing, and education. So you have legal, political, and education. We need to form an organization like that, and we need to come together and put it together. I've got a lot going on, so I don't really have enough time to squeeze that in. But if there was anybody out there that's listening to this call that said, you know what, I'd love to spearhead something like that, we would definitely put our projects into some type of an association that would be led for that purpose in order to make sure that we don't get overregulated. But again, how do we tomorrow make sure we don't have regulation? We pick up the phone, we call Uncle Johnny or Aunt Susan, and we say, hey, what do you know about crypto? I've heard a lot about it, Let me connect you to the Nexus ecosystem if you're interested in getting involved, and get them involved in what we're doing. And in that, we can build a solid base for people to get involved. And if we could get to 100, 200, 300,000, 500,000, 1 million people into what we're doing here in the Nexus ecosystem, then we know what they're coming into projects that have real utility, real teams, and a community behind them that cares about this long-term success of these projects. If we can begin to move crypto away from fear and greed, I'm going to say it again. If we can move crypto away from fear and greed, and I'll add one more to that, short-term mentality, that short-term thinking of the crypto space. Fear, greed, and short-term thinking. If we can move away from that, then regulations will be much less than if we continue down the path of where it's going, where we're expecting things to give you 400x, 50x, 90x returns. And then, of course, we all get in and we all bail on it, right? I got to tell you, if I was a government regulator right now, I'd make it where if you bought a crypto, you couldn't sell it for 6 months. You couldn't jump in and out, right? Why? Because it's destroying projects. It's destroying people who are getting in these projects. But I'm not a regulator and I don't like regulation. So I believe that we as people should be responsible enough to fix it. And we don't necessarily need the regulation to do that, even though we know regulation is coming. Hopefully that makes sense. Will there be a token for NFT platform 2 or just NFTs? No, CMP eventually will launch a token. Yes, it will. Nope, that's perfect. And you know, there is the saying that the people who made a lot of money in the gold rush were the people who sold the picks and the shovels. And that is why if you don't have money for NFTs, then the great thing is buy the tokens of the platforms that hold those NFTs. And we will have that token out. So CNP will be doing a token and you can get those tokens. Will we get in on the token launch? Which token launch, David? Oh, for the proposal project, I believe. Yeah, okay, I got it. Yep. So guys, I do not know. They are we're going to the legal side of that's going to be more. We do what are called fair launches, where we launch through a decentralized exchange. This may be one that actually goes on centralized exchanges and goes through that mechanism. So we may not get a chance to do that. However, I've convinced them, and sorry for the person that just questioned about the NFTs, I've convinced them to let us have first right on NFTs for the project that would then have strong utility into the entire project, which could be very valuable NFTs. Let me just put it that way. Okay. That's the way that I would put it because of the technology and what is coming with this project. And the key would be is depending on the legal side of it, people in the US may not be able to participate in it because of the way the raise is done. This happens all the time. That's why I started Catapult Swap, being that all the funds are raised. So this is a project that's actually raising funds to then use that money to build more technology, more software. It is an up and running project, by the way. It's not one that's a startup. It's actually physically already up and running. It has patents. It has all kinds of stuff. It actually already has revenue as a company, as a process, but it is so I don't know on the token side of it. That's all I can say at this point, guys. That will have to be seen whether we can or not. However, you don't have to worry about that because TruBadger will hold a pretty nice piece of tokens. So if you hold TruBadger, you're already set and ready to go. So you're not going to end up missing out. Is the Solaro project coming soon? We did the survey, so wondering. Yeah, Solaro is going to launch on their own site the sale of their NFTs. What we're going to do for Solaro is we are going to have a link page on community NFT project. So you go there and then you'll go out to Solaro and you'll be able to do it that way. And that is the best way. If you're part of this community, that is the best way. If you decide to participate, you can go directly to their site, but the best way for you to do it for yourself, for the community, for everybody involved is to go to CNP and then link out to Solara's page and then purchase the NFTs that way. We won't be doing a pre-sale on it in the nature that we've done the other ones because it's not a direct Nexus ecosystem project. It's a friend project of ours. We're going to help them. And the same thing with their token launch. We will be able to get in on that first on the token launch and then go from there. So it's more of a friendly type thing than anything else. And we'll get you more details on that as it comes out. All right. All right. Let's see. Please discuss more of the trade-offs being made between allocating the IT resources to get projects like NSI and Cefu live versus applying resources to future projects. Yeah, Dave, there's no taking resources off of those projects and putting them on to future projects. Those projects have their programmers and they're working on them. So it has nothing to do with it. The team that's working on NSI has nothing to do with these future projects that we're working on. The team working on SAFU5 has nothing to do with the other teams. These are separate teams of people that are working on these projects. Our CNP has people that specialize in NFTs and in NFT software. Okay, the people working on NSI are people that have built trading software. The people that are working on SAFU5 are work in the DAO side of things, voting on chain and all that stuff. These are all separate projects that are separately being done from that side. There's no lack of resources to get the stuff done. It's just time. It takes time to build this stuff. There's no off the shelf, hey, let's just go grab this. We could do off the shelf stuff. There's plenty of it out there, but that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to build an ecosystem. So there's nothing being sacrificed in order to do anything else. We're a team. There's a team of us. What we do is we consult and we accelerate the growth of these projects. That's what we do. So just like there's a software developer that knows how to build NFTs and sites and that stuff, we're professionals at finding projects, accelerating what the project is and means. We were just on a call with somebody and they threw out an idea and I gave them a name for it in, I don't know, 3 seconds, right? That's what we do. That's our specialty. Our specialty is to solve problems, expand on concepts, and organize things. And then there's other people that do the other part of it. We're going to be bringing in a business development person. We're going to be bringing in a finance person that will oversee all the projects. We're going to start bringing on more people that will do more roles that are specific to them and continue to expand and grow this. So I've heard that a few times, like maybe, the team is getting stretched too far, and that's why SAFU5's not moving forward. SAFU5's moving forward, guys. There's nothing that's not. We just did the staking. Staking is not like, hey, let's pop it together. There's software that needed to be built in order to stake. That meant somebody was working every day building that software technology. Same thing with the crypto gods. Art had to be designed. There's an art team. There's a team that, the software team that works on Catapult Swap is building Catapult Swap. At the same time, there's the team working on Insights and all the other projects. All right. All right. Stardom Chance. Stardom Chance looks like it is going to be launched about mid-March, the first or second week in March. We're just going through dotting the I's, crossing the T's, getting that ready to go. The website is nearing on development. So we'll start showing you guys some peeks at it here, hopefully in the next week or so. You get to see the site. You get to see some of the things about it moving forward there. Stardom Chance is also making progress, the company, and then Stardom Token DAO, because you guys do realize they're two separate entities, right? Stardom Chance is a business. Actually, they came to me for Stardom Chance, said, we want you to do some crowdfunding and maybe you can invest in it. I looked at it and said, man, what a great concept. We need to form a DAO around this. We need to bring this into the blockchain and bring that into the future. And that's why that whole deal was put together. They didn't come to us and say, hey, we want to launch a project. I basically looked at what they were doing and said, hey, this is pretty freaking exciting. We need to do something with this, because I love the democratization of the film industry. But what I love more than that is the decentralized democratization of the film industry. It's hard to say when you say them together. Separately, I had no problem, right? Decentralized, democratization, put them together, decentralized forget it. We're not even going to go there, right? We're going to forget that one. All right, Andy Wells. Can you explain the benefit of owning CNP tokens versus buying the NFTs? Andy, I think that the key is that if you own CNP tokens, every project that gets launched through CNP, again, MetaMartian. So CNP, the platform, owns some MetaMartian tokens. or I mean NFTs. It owns Crypto God's NFTs. When it goes on there, it will own right? Because we have a couple other projects coming. It will take ownership of those. So by owning the token, of course, we charge fees too, right? Every project pays a fee for us to list on there. So you have the fee revenue, and then you have the NFTs. The other NFTs that are on there, and let me clear this up too. The reason to buy an NFT is you say, wait a minute, there's going to be, it's the utility. So either you like the art, you go, oh man, that's amazing art, I'd like to own it. Just like I have paintings on my wall, right? I have several of them right here back behind me right there. And so I purchased them. I think I paid about $300 for that one, $500 for that one. And they just hang on my wall, right? They're just art pieces that are on my wall. I have one upstairs I paid a couple $1,000s for. Again, just art. So there's that side of it. You love the art and you're just going to buy the NFT for the art. The second reason for doing it is buying it for resale because you think that that art would go up in value. Third reason for buying it is it's a utility NFT that can be used in some form or fashion to earn revenue. Okay. And that would be like a play to earn game. So I'm going to buy the NFT. The play to earn game, let's say, is coming out with Meta Martians will be in about 2 months, right? Where I'll actually go use my NFT to earn. So now that's becoming a revenue source for me, right? If I own 4 or 5 NFTs and they can make $8 a day, I can produce $40 a day, $1,200 a month, $6,000 a year. Not bad if I paid $800 for the NFTs. Plus I still own the NFT that will hopefully go up in value as things progress. So those are really the reasons. So owning the token, you're looking at the fees on the platform and then the NFTs that platform would acquire and the value of those NFTs. Now, the same thing, CMP will put its NFTs to work, right? Our goal would be to what? And here I'll draw this kind of out. Let's say over the next year, we do 20 NFT projects, okay? Over the next 12 months, 20. And we end up with between 20 and 75 of each of those NFTs as part of our fee, okay, for doing it. And let's say that, so that's about 1,000 NFTs. Let's say we put them to work. And let's say the average NFT can earn us $8 to $10 a day. We could then earn $8,000 to $10,000 a day. That's about $240,000 to $300,000 a month. CNP could bring in by putting those to work for us in the crypto space. So that's just kind of a concept and an idea of us accumulating assets. I truly believe that in the next 3 to 5 years, 6, 7, whatever it is, the crypto projects will be valued the same way an Amazon is valued today, or a Tesla or anything else, right? It'll be valued on the assets that it holds, the revenue that it brings in, the profitability of that revenue, the future of where that revenue can go, and the traders that are buying and selling it, right? Today in the crypto space, I think it's the traders that are buying and selling it and the future of what blockchain can be. There's that missing element in the middle where it's looking at the assets, the revenue of the projects. That's the part that's missing right now. That revenue part in the middle there is what's missing, okay? But eventually that will be put into the equation, and then the projects that have assets on the books. So let's say by that time, TruBadger has $5 billion worth of other assets on its books from all these projects that we've launched, all these tokens that it holds on to. So I don't know if you guys know, but TruBadger holds NSI tokens. TruBadger holds SafuFi tokens. It's going to hold Stardom tokens. It holds MMAC NFTs. It's going to hold Crypto God NFTs. It will hold token. It will hold token. It'll hold NFTs. It continues to accumulate those assets so those assets can rise in value. And then eventually we could leverage those to buy out other projects, to expand, to grow, to do all kinds of stuff, right? Eventually maybe sell some of them off. And at that point, have it in a way where we can distribute that out to possibly the token holders, all kinds of different stuff that we can do. but I take this very seriously as a business and not a slot machine, right? There is no button to push or arm to pull on Nexus ecosystem, right? No, these are legitimate businesses that we're building that will take us time to build, implement, and put out there. And we're excited about the future of where we're headed to. We're working our what's off to try and get the put the pedal to the metal on growth. We've come up with a new I want to say, and I don't know how long it's going to take for us to build it because we just structured it yesterday, but the possibility of saying, hey, if you want to go share the Nexus ecosystem with people and they come on board and they use your affiliate link, it's a one-level affiliate program. What will happen is they will get, if they buy at least $100 of any 3 of our tokens, they'll get $5 in tokens for doing it. They'll get 10 points, which are redeemable for NFTs on CNP. Okay. That will launch their special series of NFTs. And then you as the referrer get 10 points. And then if you end up with 200 points, you can redeem that for a full NFT, or you can, if you have 50 and you want to buy the NFT, you can buy it at a discount because of it. So we're trying to even say, is there a referral way we can do this to get people to really go out and share and talk about it? I'm going to say this right now, guys. There is not a single one of us that does not know a dozen people who would like to get into crypto, but don't know how. I am telling you right now, there's not a single one of us that doesn't know a dozen people that would like to be in crypto that doesn't know how. And they're not going to come out and ask you. We have to go to them and ask them to do it. And I think that's our responsibility, because those dozen people will end up getting into crypto. More than likely, they'll get into a project like Shiba, Doge, backstep, triple flop token, right? And they'll be like, oh, it's got Shiba and Doge in it. It's got to be good. It's got to be that amazing thing, and it even does a triple backflip. So it must be something that's going to really skyrocket in value, and they'll buy it. And because they'll do it because a friend calls them up and says, hey, you got to get in this token. I've just seen 2 of them launch here, guys, that took current events and then utilize that. A bunch of people are getting in, and I just look at it, and every one of those people getting in, I can see they're going to lose their money over time because they don't know what they're doing, and they're getting into projects that don't have a possibility of a long-term success because they're based on short-term ideas or concepts or things that are happening. So they don't have the chance to build into anything long-term. There's already a huge referral benefit. The more holders, the more our tokens hold and grow in value. That is true, Yanni. It is absolutely true that, but we need to grow, right? We need to, we set a goal to hit 30,000 holders by the end of March. End of March isn't here. We can still make it happen. I don't know how many people are on here. There's about 25 on there, and maybe 25, 30 on YouTube.
More like 45, 50.
All right. So we got 60, 70 people here. A lot of people watch this in the replay. If we all just said we're going to go get one new person into crypto, 63 on YouTube. So if we got one new person each in the next week to come in and buy $20, $50, $100 worth of one of our tokens, you don't have to buy all 3, just TruBadger. I got to tell you guys, our onboarding system is the freaking bee's knees, right? I mean, it is a Rolls Royce, a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, all rolled up in one. No one else does it. I would have died if I would have found the Nexus ecosystem when I was getting into crypto. It was so hard to do. It was so difficult to get in. And if I would have had a place where I could just go and walk through a little bit myself and then say, oh, I'm stuck, and hit that yellow button, and they would have put me through it. Oh my goodness gracious. I mean, it's like finding the Nexus ecosystem is like winning the lottery of the crypto space, right? And then here's a big thing is I didn't talk to people before we started this about crypto that much. And the reason why is if I told my mom, hey, mom, you should get into crypto, my mom would be like, I don't know what you're talking about, son. Can you do it for me? Can you teach me? Can you show me how to do it? Right. And my brother does do it for my mom, right? I mean, he does all her buying and all that stuff. She just says, do this, do this, do that. But, you know, I can't talk to 50 people about this without the onboarding system, because I'd have to help 50 people get into crypto, and it would drive me crazy. I got work to do. I got to work on Safu Fight. I got to Catapult. I got all this other stuff going, right? All these great projects that's going to catapult us into the stratosphere. I don't have time to walk somebody through getting a MetaMask wallet, making it happen. And I have, guys, I want you to know, I have walked people through getting that. I've spent 12, 16, 18 hours on Zooms onboarding people because that's what needed to get done. So it's not like I haven't done it. I have done it. And I got to tell you, it's such an amazing thing. And the fact that we don't have 100, 200 new people a day coming into the onboarding system, I'm shocked, right? Because it's such a, I mean, it is like, I don't know, it's like water to us, right? If we don't have it, we die. I mean, it's that important. And so we don't have 100 people a day coming on in the onboarding system, because I don't think we're sharing it enough with people as the people that have gone through the onboarding system. I know you guys appreciate it. And I know it helped a lot of people out, but man, we should be like, you're standing in line at the Safeway store. You should be, person in front of you. Hey, you like crypto? Oh, no, I don't know what that is. Or, oh yeah, I've been wanting to get into that. Oh my God, you got to use the Nexus Eco. You should brag about it like you do your grandchildren. That's what you should do, right? The Nexus ecosystem. I got it, right? So Rhonda, we need a post, right? We need to create a post that people brag about the Nexus ecosystem like you do your grandchildren. That you guys like that post? That we should make that post, right? Put it in Telegram.
I like it.
Yeah, definitely. It's crazy. So anyway, guys, one more question here, and then we're going to call it a day. We'll be back again next Thursday. I do not know about the Tuesday calls, guys. If they're going to start doing those again for Digibot and Insights, I'll have to talk to Doug about that, maybe every other week or something. But I'll talk about, hi, is there any timeline on being able to stake Safufied for the safe? Not yet. They said about 4 weeks, I believe was the time frame they gave us, and that was probably a couple weeks ago, right? Beyond when it would be regularly staked. I think we've been staking now for about 2 weeks. By the way, how are you guys liking the rewards on the staking through the app? Through it.
That's amazing.
Good. You guys liking getting the rewards? Love staking. Excellent. Excellent. So we'll have to get you an update. On Tuesday, we'll have an update on that side of it, okay? On staking through the app. Okay. All right. Well, if there's no more questions, guys, I want to thank you for joining us. We're doing something special here. I'd love to see it speed up, guys, on the growth of the community. And that really comes down to you guys. I'm just like you. I'm one person. All I can do is, recommend friends and family and stuff like that. But if we all take that responsibility on, we can grow this thing much faster and accelerate it. And I know there are some people that are out sharing with a lot of people. I do appreciate that. There's some dynamite people that have come from PTR that are just helping us in amazing ways. I could never thank them enough. I think I'm going to have to build a statue in my backyard of one of them. So I can go out there and thank it every day. Just because the amazing work and effort and energy that he's putting into it and how he's helping, accelerate things. So anyway, guys, thank you for joining us. We have another meeting to go to. Have a great day, great weekend, and we'll see you next week.